What's up guys, Son Malik back here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the UNSC Firebase for 2015. This is a Halo Mega Bloks set. I had a set in Halo 5, so it's a pretty cool set. I mean, we don't really know what's going on here because the game hasn't really come out, so we don't really know what scene this is portraying, but it does still look like a really cool set. We get a base here, which is pretty sweet. We've all been wanting a base for a really long time. I know all the Mega Bloks fans, we've been asking so much for a base. This isn't really like the type of base I think we were hoping for. This is kind of like a quarter of a base we were hoping for. If you buy multiples of these sets, you can put it together and make a massive base, but nonetheless, the set is still cool, and it's a great way to start off your own UNSC base if you don't have one yet. This is like a great way to start it off, or if you have one, you can just add this onto your already made base. But yeah, so the set's pretty cool. It has 637 pieces and retails for about $60. It's US, I think, and it's for ages 8 and up. Yeah, but the box here is pretty massive, actually. I mean, compared to the size of my hand, or actually not my hand, yeah, my hand, it's pretty large. I mean, it's a really wide box, about as wide as the set is as well, but it's really tall as well, too. But the set is really huge. I mean, not the set, the box is really huge, but it's also very thin. So looking at the box art right here, we get a pretty cool action scene of this hunter and the drones trying to break into this base right here. Then we got the Marine and Spartan Kelly, the one named character in this figure. I mean, the one named character in the set. Yeah, so she's pretty cool as well, part of Blue Team. So we got a nice action shot there. Then on the top, we get a better look at the figures, all of them lined up there. Then if I turn this around, you get a better look at all the features of this set, just showing you the back of the base, all the weapons you get up top. How the base is rearrangeable, so you can move the opening out of the way and stuff, and you can attach different things in different ways to make your base look unique to your own liking. But yeah, so there's the rest of the characters. We got the Covenant drone miners right there, the Covenant hunter, Spartan Kelly, and the UNSC Marine, just like I stated. Then we also got some other sets right here. I have reviewed that one, so if you want to go check that out on my channel, you can. I haven't picked up these two yet. I will be, though. I'll be reviewing those as well later on my channel. But yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it for the box. Now let's take an up-close look at the build. So here's the complete set. Now let's take an up-close look at the figures. So I'm going to start things off with the Covenant here, and our first figure here is the Covenant drone. This is the red one here. We get two of them in the set, one's green and one's red. And yeah, so we've seen these figures before. They came out in the Covenant drone ambush, I think in the beginning of 2015, that set with George. And that UNSC truck. But yeah, so we did get two of the drones there. Those are just some regular plain colored drones in the regular tan color. But these ones are kind of an attacky red and green, which look a little weird to me, but I do think they look cool as well. I would have preferred to get the regular drones so you can build up like swarms of them and stuff like that, but these ones do look cool as well. But so the only thing new we got here are the same pieces, just in red, so there's nothing too special about that. One thing I do want to point out, though, is the wings. The wings here are not the same as the last wings we got. They're actually a frosty color that is quite different from the last Covenant drones. The last Covenant drones, their wings are translucent. They're just clear pretty much, but these ones are blue with like a frosty glow to them. They're not just regular regularly translucent. I mean, they do have like if you feel them, they kind of have like a rough feel to it almost, which is pretty cool. I do think that adds a nice effect. I mean, Mega Bloks didn't really have to add that in, but they did. Just for fun. Yeah, one thing I did want to point out, though, the pistol right here, or the plasma pistol right here, is the new mold of the plasma pistol, so that's also cool to get. It's actually the first time I've gotten one of these, so this is pretty sweet. We do get two in the set, one for each drone, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the drones are nothing special. They're really skinny. They look their armor configuration is actually pretty weird. Their arms are the same size as a regular peg, and then you can clip them on with these pieces that could clip onto anything really. So any like peg size object you could clip these onto. But their arms and legs are really skinny and stuff, and their whole system works off ball joints. So even at their waist, they have a ball joint articulation, which is pretty sweet. In the legs, we also see that ball joint articulation, and the arms, the ball joints there. Same with the head. So this whole thing is articulated by ball joints, and that's also pretty sweet. The tail here, we do get two tail pieces on each one. Those are also movable. They're not really movable. They feel like they're going to kind of break off because they are a really like soft, rubbery plastic. But nonetheless, they are pretty cool and add quite a bit of detail as well. We do get a bunch of paint applications on this one. On the head, we do have the red and the gold for the eyes. Everything else, on the feet, we do have the extra red armor painted on to go with the rest of the armor set form here. Up top, we do get the blue rings right there to add some detail, and on the back, we do get another blue ring right here as well. Then on these tail fins, we also get some more red paint. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this drone. He's a pretty cool figure, quite different from the old ones, but I'll bring in an old one right now so we can compare it with this one. Look at the next Covenant drone. I just wanted to bring in this the old one for comparison. So this is the one we got in that Covenant drone ambush, I think it was called. I forgot the name of the set, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so as you can see on the wings here, it is translucent, unlike this one right here, which is actually like a frosty type of blue, I guess. Yeah, I think you can see. Yeah, you can see the difference on camera right there. This one glows a little bit more. This one kind of is a little bit more dull because they have that rough feel to it. But yeah, I think I actually like these old ones better. I actually like the color scheme better. I mean, there's nothing too much. I mean, the figure itself is the same mold and everything. There's nothing different about that, other than the pistols here. This one's using the old one because in that set it did include the old plasma pistols, but I mean, I did prefer these ones because I think this color is more commonly seen in the games, so that's why I thought it'd be better to just get a bunch of these and you can build up swarms and stuff like that. But it is also cool to get these different color combinations for these different Covenant drones, so you can get like a different array of drones in your army there, in your Covenant army. So it's pretty cool that the Mega Bloks did that. I would have preferred to see like more and more of these, but this is pretty cool what they did by adding new types of drones. But this is your comparison between the old drone and the new drone. Next figure here is the green Covenant drone. I'm not going to go into too much detail about him because he's pretty much the exact same thing as the red drone. I mean, he's literally the exact same thing as the red drone, just with a green paint application and pieces going across him instead of the red color. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I did already go over all the details in the red one, but yeah, so there's your green Covenant drone. So here's the big man himself. This is the Hunter that we get in this set, and this one's pretty cool. We do get some new molds on this, so this is pretty much the newest Hunter that we have for Mega Bloks, and this one is pretty much the same this one's from Halo 5, so it is slightly different from the ones that we've gotten before. Mainly the whole difference here is in this arm, the shield and the upper plate right here. We got a new this upper plate I don't think was actually there before, and this whole shield is just a new mold, which is more reminiscent of Halo 5 and Halo 4. But yeah, so if you I'm gonna remove this shield right here if I can, just to get that out of the way. Then up here we do have another armor piece that comes off like that. So that's also pretty cool and is new for this Hunter as well. But yeah, then the shield is just a new mold that they added in, and I think that looks really cool. It's a lot more accurate to what it looks like in the game, and it just makes this figure look a lot better. But yeah, so the cannon we got here on the other arm does look great as well. It's just the simple one that we've gotten in many Hunters before, and it just looks really great as well. But this figure overall is really cool. I do like how they went with the dark blue color and that kind of peach color for the skin. That regular color that the Hunters have in the game, I really like how they didn't go with a tacky color like gold or something like that, like they've done before in some other sets. I really like how they stuck to the original color scheme of the Hunters in the game, so that's pretty cool. I actually appreciate that a lot. But yeah, so this Hunter's pretty basic. I think we've all seen these Hunters before. We got these back tentacle pieces that are really movable and stuff and get kind of annoying after a while. But yeah, so this Hunter is pretty sweet. There's nothing too much new, nothing too special about him other than this new arm mold right here. But we'll probably be seeing Hunters in other sets with this new mold as well. So if you haven't picked up this set, you can pick up those other sets that are probably going to be coming out later next year or later this year with these new molds. So that's pretty much going to do it for the Hunter. Now let's take a look at Spartan Kelly. So here is Spartan Kelly, one of our first members for Blue Team for this year. In Halo 5, we haven't really gotten any other Blue Team members in Mega Bloks form at least. We have gotten Fred before, but that wasn't the Halo Legends, so I mean, I'm considering Halo 5 here. This is the first time we've gotten a Halo 5 variant of Blue Team, or a member of Blue Team at least. So we got Kelly right here, and she looks really cool in this Hermes armor. Hermes, that name actually is actually a fun fact. I mean, that's a Greek god. The Greek god is speed, so I mean, Kelly's supposed to be really fast and nimble and stuff, and really agile and stuff like that, so I guess that's why they named her armor after the Greek god of speed, so that's pretty cool as well. I think that was a really cool thing that 343 did with this character. But Kelly right here looks really cool in Mega Bloks form. Is really accurate to what she looks like in the game. I mean, this figure is really cool. They got every little part of her armor in detail, especially this helmet right here. There's a lot of little lines and little details that go on the side right here, which Mega Bloks didn't really have to add, but they did anyways, and I think that adds a lot of detail. I really like her armor right here. I think it's really sleek looking. It's not very bulky like we usually see on Spartans. This is very small, sleek, and it looks really cool and really accurate to what she looks like in the game. One thing I did want to point out though, her shoulder pads here are new. Her leg molds are actually, I think those are not new, but the chest plate is definitely new as well, and there's a reason for that, and I'll show you that in just a second. But the rest of the figure, it looks really cool. One thing I did want to talk about the shoulder pads with was that Agent Locke did not have shoulder pads, and everybody was saying because it looks better that he does not have shoulder pads and all that stuff. And I was saying that Mega Bloks probably should have done shoulder pads just with just smaller versions. And I think this would have actually been really good. I mean, these shoulder pads are really small. Maybe you could even go even smaller than this, and maybe make like molds like that for Locke. I think that would look really cool. So if you can repaint these and use them on Locke, I think that would actually look really sweet. I might try that myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, I might try that myself and add that to Locke. I don't know. I think that would actually look really cool. But yeah, so this figure is pretty sweet. Now the main feature, or main new thing about this figure, other than the armor molds, is the torso piece. So I'm just going to take off the armor and show you that right now. So here's the cool thing, the cool mold at least, about the Spartan Kelly figure. We finally got a female torso. So Mega Bloks with their Halo line has never actually made a female character. The one they did make was Spartan Palmer, and with that they didn't even give her Under Armour torso was still that of a male's. They didn't even give her a female one, which I think was actually a little bit kind of bad. At least I think they should have made this mold for that figure. They should have made this mold like years ago, but it's great to get a female character in Halo Mega Bloks, and it actually has female torsos and molds that are specialized for this character, so that looks really cool. So what we got here on the torso, we do have breasts and a slimmer waist molded in, so that it looks more like, so it gives it more female features, which is pretty cool. I really like that. It does look slightly awkward because they have to jam it into a tiny space, which is these armor pieces, so it doesn't really give Mega Bloks much to work with. So yeah, I mean, but still, nonetheless, I do think they did a really great job. They did add all those different lines and details to add a lot more accuracy to this figure, but as you can see, it's just a slimmer waist. We got breast details, and that's it. I mean, this whole torso piece is a new mold, though. It is different than the male torso piece that we have. One thing they didn't change, though, is this shoulder width. That is still that of like a male characters, which is okay as well. So it does look more like the regular Spartans. Don't look too different, but yeah. So that's a really cool thing. I really like how they did that. We're finally getting female characters with actual female parts and stuff, so that's pretty sweet. I really like how Mega Bloks is doing that, and they're adding some like so that's really great for gender equality and everything, and that's really cool. But yeah, so there's our new mold for our Spartan Kelly figure. Our final figure for this set, and this is actually a really cool figure. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit low-key compared to the rest of the figures that we get in this set. But this Marine is probably my favorite Marine we've ever gotten. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this color scheme is just great. I really like how they did this dark color scheme with some gunmetal. So this black color scheme with some gunmetal gray accents. I think that looks really cool, really menacing and kind of stealthy and stuff. And then that green visor in there just stands out so much. I think that looks really cool. The mold itself is really cool as well. These Marines. The heavy Marines look really cool, but this this same mold and this color just looks absolutely perfect. I really like this, and I think this is probably my favorite Marine ever that Mega Bloks has made. But yeah, so there's nothing too special about this guy. We have gotten this mold before. It is an old mold that we've seen a lot. But yeah, so it's just really cool to get it in a new color scheme that looks really sweet. But yeah, so he's wielding a regular assault rifle here. We do get a bunch of other weapons in this set that you can add on to any figure, so I'll show you guys that right now. The weapons we see on the figures, we get 3 weapons here that you can put on any figure you want. So I'm going to start this thing off with the saw. We get 1 saw here. These are all molded in the regular black plastic. There's nothing too special about them, but this saw is pretty cool. We've all seen it before. Then we get a shotgun right here, which is also pretty sweet. In that regular black mold again. And the one special weapon about this, we get a Halo 5 rocket launcher, which looks pretty cool. I really liked how they included this. They didn't really have to do this, but I guess you're gonna need some big weapon to take down that hunter. So yeah, that's really cool how they included this Halo 5 rocket launcher. And it's actually the first time I've gotten one of these, and it's pretty cool looking. I really like this mold. It looks pretty sweet, and you do have a pin right here, so you can attach it to the back of a figure, which is also pretty sweet as well. It looks really accurate to what it looks like in Halo 5, and it's just a really cool mold. But yeah, so there's your look at the extra weapons. So here's the actual build of the set. This is a Firebase right here, and this is a really, really long set. I mean, it's not that wide, it's just really, really lengthy. I mean, if I put that one figure right here, I get that Marine with that rocket launcher, he is pretty small compared to this thing. So yeah, I mean, this thing is really wide. This build didn't take that long. It took, I think, about 2 hours for me. I was kind of just chilling though while I was doing it. I wasn't really going too fast with it or anything. I was just kind of relaxed building. But yeah, this set is pretty cool. It does look really, really nice. I really like these main portions right here. These are really well built. These are all just kind of stacking bricks one on top of each other until it gets that really nice firm feel. This thing's really sturdy. It's not going to break easily, except for this bridge portion right here that's a little bit weak. But I mean, these two areas right here and here, those towers for the turrets, those main walls are really sturdy and really strong. But yeah, so for the turrets up here, I'm going to start off with the small one right here. We do get a mini little I guess a anti-air turret. Or I guess a ground assault turret. It can aim down and shoot enemies on the ground, or you can aim up high, hit them up in the sky as well, so that's pretty cool. I mean, this one's a little small, really undetailed. It's just really just something you can have on this side to compensate for the massive turret that we have on this side. And this turret is really cool. This thing is just huge. I mean, we do get to these pieces that we saw on the Cobra from the light up Cobra set a little while ago, so they did reuse those pieces for this set, which I thought was really cool. But this thing is just really bulky. It has a lot of guns on it. It has 4 main barrels right here along with the 2 Cobra ones, so that's pretty sweet. The cannon itself just looks really cool. I mean, it is pretty special, I guess, compared to this one. This one's really small compared to that, but this turret is really cool. I guess this is more of an anti-air turret or anti-vehicle turret, or else I mean, against a regular infantry, that's gonna kind of destroy everybody. But yeah, so that turret's pretty sweet. But yeah, the one main feature about this set though is you can take it apart and put it back together how you want it. And since this is such a big set, I'm actually going to be taking it apart and looking at it in different sections. So I'll look at this section, then the main bridge section, and the other the last side section as well. But before we do that, I did want to just point out some cool features about this. They did do some nice greebling right here, just to add some details along the wall. And this whole panel is actually to keep this whole thing together. I mean, without this panel, this thing would be flopping around and breaking apart really easily. But that was a nice way to add some support and detail at the same time. Mega Bloks was really smart in doing that. And then on the sides here, or on the front here, this thing I thought was actually a really cool build. What they did here was take 2 triangular panels and put them next together to form one flat square piece, I guess, kinda. But it does give you 2 different colors, and it looks really cool. I really like how Mega Bloks did that. It's nothing too special, I just thought it was really cool. And then up here, I'll show you guys this from the back as well, but you can kind of like some shooting slots right here for your troops. So you got a shooting area right here. You got one on this side as well. I'll show you that, guys. I'll show you that in just a second. We got one here, and then 2 up top as well, so you can fire from the bridge. You can stick your gun through there and just shoot at all your bad guys trying to enter. But yeah, so one thing I do want to point out before we look at the set taken apart, this whole area right here is actually really like big. It can fit a lot of vehicles. You can fit I think like 3 mongooses at the same time if you wanted. You could fit Warthog for sure. You could also fit the UNSC transport truck, which I'll bring in just a second. But yeah, so this thing is pretty cool. You can fit most UNSC vehicles in here, which I thought was really sweet. I don't know if you're going to be able to fit the Scorpion in here. That might be a really tight fit. I haven't actually picked that one up yet, but I mean, I actually don't think it would fit in here. I think it might be a little bit too tall to fit underneath this thing, but nonetheless, it is pretty cool gate, and is really really big gate as well. But yeah, now let's take apart this set and look at it in more detail. So we're just going to be moving from side to side along this base, and our first one right here, our first main wall portion right here is pretty cool. As I said, they're really sturdy, they're really durable, because they've just been stacked up on top of each other. All these bricks, it's a really repetitive process of just stacking multiple bricks that make it really sturdy, and I really like how Mega Bloks actually did that. I think it adds a lot more strength to this base, and it makes it look a lot cooler. But looking at it from the back here, this is actually the inside portion. We got a few fuel rod canisters right here. We got a ladder going up to the second portion, which you can shoot from these little slots, as I was saying before. So you can put your guns through there and then shoot from those 2 slots. As you can see, we do have one on each side. So you got this little area right here. We got some lights all over the place, which look pretty cool as well. This right here is actually one of the clips that you can that can secure one other part of the port base. So if you put the bridge right here, you just connect it with the Technic pins and lock it in place with this little pin. So that's pretty cool. And then, like I said, the turret before, it's nothing special. It's a little bit small compared to the other one. It's kind of like the more of a wimpy turret. You could actually take this thing off right here, and you get kind of a cool landing pad if you wanted to add that in. If you use some flat bricks, you could add a little landing pad for any like small flying vehicle. But yeah, so this thing is pretty cool. There's nothing too special about it. I do like how they use these flat pieces right here. I thought that was also really sweet. But yeah, so this thing's just really sturdy. A lot of these silver pieces right here, they use a lot in this set. I mean, they're all over the place in this thing. I mean, if you wanted to collect up on these sets, buying this thing would get you at least, I think, 10 alone in this set, so that's pretty sweet. I really like how Mega Bloks did that as well. But yeah, so this one's nothing too special. I mean, the other pillar has a lot more features and a lot more detail to it, but yeah, so this one's nothing too special. But yeah, so there's your look at the first pillar. So here we got our gate portion for the base here. I mean, this is a pretty cool gate. It's like I said it before, it's actually really big throughout here. I mean, you can fit a lot of vehicles. I don't know if you can fit an actual Scorpion or a tank in there, but most UNSC vehicles you could fit in there, which is pretty cool. And I think that's really a key feature that Mega Bloks needed to have in the set. But yeah, like I said before, there's a lot of details going along the side with some greebling right here. We do get some 2 printed pieces right here. There's no stickers in the set. Everything you see that any decals you see are actually printed on, so that's pretty cool. So 2 printed pieces of the UNSC logo right here for these shooting slots up on this bridge. So if we turn it around, we can get a better look at the back of this thing. The back of this thing is not that special, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's some ladders right here so you can get onto the bridge. The bridge itself is pretty cool. You do get a lot of quite a bit of space right there, so you can add some figures in there and have them shooting off the bridge. So you can put figures anywhere on this space. I mean, you can just load this thing up with figures. It looks really cool. But yeah, so this thing, there's a light right here. There's nothing too special on the ground. On the next wall portion, there's actually some pretty cool details, but we'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, so this gate, there's nothing too special about this. I mean, it's just a regular hold-up gate. But yeah, so that's pretty much gonna do it for the gate. And now let's take a look at the next portion of the wall. So here, guys, is the final part of the base, and which is probably my favorite thing about this base. This part alone is really cool. I like how this wall is just as sturdy as the last one. It's pretty much symmetrical to the other wall that we get over there. Pretty much the same build, except for the top right here. We don't get that extra deck, and this gun is just massive. I mean, it just looks so cool. This thing it looks like it could go take out like Phantoms or something like that. I mean, it looks almost like a Mac gun kind of. You could switch this around to kind of look like a Mac gun almost with a few extra pieces. But yeah, this turret is really cool. I like how they added this massive turret onto here. They could have just added one small one like they did on the other side, but I like how Mega Bloks went the extra mile right here to make this thing really huge. But yeah, so the build right here for this is pretty much identical to the one we saw last time. Again, you have those triangle pieces that make that flat plane surface, which is pretty sweet. We get more shooting holes right here for your soldiers, and then if you turn this thing around, this is where it gets pretty interesting. I like how this one looks from the back. There's a lot more detail and stuff. But yeah, so we get more of these pillar pieces, which we actually got on the bridge as well. We get a lot of these silver pillars right here, which are pretty sweet. And then we get a ladder right here going up to the second portion where you can shoot from with the shooting holes right there. And then on the bottom right here, this is where you get most of the detail. You get a little holographic panel right here, which is pretty cool, which got some writing on it. I don't really know what it says. You got some zeros and ones and stuff, and then some random language and symbols and stuff. I don't really know what that means or anything. If you do know what that means, please let me know in the comments below, because I have no idea. But then over here we get a little map of the battlefield, which does show 3 red dot arrows coming towards 3 yellow arrows. So I guess that's showing like the enemies moving toward your men. So that's pretty sweet. I like how they added that. I mean, it's kind of like the control station for your base, so you can have like your commanders and stuff lined up here, getting ready to make commands and stuff like that, and leading the battlefield. But as you can see, we have pins on either side right here, so you can add, you can move this to the left side, to the right side. You can make it in the middle. You can do whatever you want with this thing. This whole base is interchangeable and is modular, so you can actually completely change this thing up to how you want it. And one thing I would recommend, though, if you do have the money for this, you could actually buy 2 of these bases, and you just have a massive UNSC base, which would look really cool in my opinion. I mean, I might actually buy another one of these things just so I could make like a full circle of UNSC bases. That would look pretty sweet. But yeah, so I actually don't know if I'm going to do that or not. If I do have the extra money, I will definitely be doing that. But yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it for this last part of the wall. It's probably the coolest part of the set. I mean, there's nothing too special about it. It's just pretty much a wall with some details on the inside. But yeah, so it's pretty much going to do it for this for the actual build of the set. Now let's take a look at the instruction booklet and then conclude the review. So guys, for this set you get 2 instruction booklets, which are pretty cool. They're actually quite thick and pretty big as well. So in the first one, you're going to be building the main wall that has the turret and stuff like that, which is pretty much the longest part of the longest build for the base. And then on this one, on the second instruction booklet, you're going to be doing or building the gate and the last part on the last wall. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the instruction booklet. Now let's go ahead and conclude this review. So guys, my final thoughts on this set. I do really like this one. I think it's actually a pretty good set. I would recommend picking this one up. I mean, it's not that worth it if you don't have a base already. Like a little, I know a lot of collectors out there that like to build up their UNSC bases and stuff like that. But if you don't have one already, this is a great way to start one off. You could buy this set and buy like another one a little bit later, and you can build up your UNSC base quite easily. You don't even have to keep it like this. You could take apart the pieces. There's some great pieces in here, so you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, for the price, I do think it's a fair price. I would have preferred it if it was a little bit lower, but I think for the pieces that we get in the set, it's actually a really fair price, and it's actually kind of a good deal. But one thing I did want out of the set was more figures. I think the drones were great. The figures themselves are all really cool. Each figure is unique in its own way and is pretty exclusive to this set, which is pretty cool. But I would have preferred to have like one more Marine or something like that, so you could, because you got 3 bad guys here. I mean, why not throw in a little bit more UNSC personnel, because you got a UNSC base right here, right? You're gonna want more UNSC people. But yeah, I think that's a small flaw, though. It's not really that much of a big deal. And since we get like a hunter here, which is actually, I don't even know if that counts, kind of like 2 figures. I mean, it's so big, I think you can count that as 2 figures. So that one, so that pretty much makes it like 6 total. And then we get Kelly here as well, who's pretty cool because we get a named character, and she's a pretty big role. She's gonna play a pretty big role in Halo 5, as she is part of a blue team. So yeah. So the one thing I did, the next thing I did want to mention is, I mean, picking this thing up is going to be quite expensive for some of us. I mean, it's like around $60, and I know a lot of you guys are going to want to pick this up mainly for that Kelly figure, because that is probably the main drive for this set. If you're like a collector that likes to get all the named characters like I do, I like to try and get every named character that I can. And since Halo 5 is coming up, everybody's going to want to build up their blue, get every character they can from Halo 5, and she is one of the main members of Blue Team, so you're going to want to pick this set up if you want to complete all of Blue Team. But yeah, so I'm going to be try and complete Blue Team and Team Osiris. So yeah, that's why I had to pick this one up. That's actually the reason I bought this set, just to get that Kelly figure. But yeah, I mean, the set itself is also pretty cool. I wasn't really expecting much out of it, but now that I have it here, it is pretty sweet as well. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the set, guys. So tell me what you guys think about the set in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, please remember to hit that like button. And if you guys want to see more 2015 Halo, Call of Duty, and Assassin's Creed reviews, please remember to subscribe, as I will be doing more reviews and analysis videos and giving out news and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it from you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.